A lot of people, you guys come from other states and other places, and you say y'all talk all that shit. I don't see any real Los Angeles people. Well, you got to understand that there's some changes. You do have Los Angeles people uh, that look like me and you, dark. That was born here. It's just that they have tried to change the city. The powers that be, they trying to give LA a different look. They're trying to flood it with immigrants and trying to let those who are wealthy and affluent uh, that don't look like us buy up a lot of property, and it's by design. There's no recession that happens by accident. They do all that shit on purpose. What they do is, as soon as they know that you are stable economically, and you know, uh, they create shit like inflation and downward trends in the market, and to destabilize the people that are stable. So that's what took place over the period of the last 20 years. Ever since 1992, April 29th, after the riot, uh, some people were determined to, and even before that, because in 1965, a lot of people uh, in the the metropolitan part of Los Angeles, in the city part, the West Side, they were they didn't look like us. And what happened was, after the riot in 1965, we began to make this push from the East Side to more of the West Side. Now, don't get me wrong, you've always had dark people all over Los Angeles. You got to remember that dark people have always been here. A lot of times they say that we migrated from, the South. That's true partially, but the real Angelino has always been here. You know what I'm saying? They've always, we wasn't all always on the East Side. I mean, because if that's the case, in 29 Bruce Beach, there was dark people that owned that out there. You know what I'm saying? In what was that, 17? I don't want to get the line, but when Los Angeles itself was discovered, it was discovered by dark people with a few other, current day Hispanics that you see now, but mostly dark families. 48 people in total, 48, other 48 families or something like that. It may have been predominantly dark people that discovered Los Angeles. And you can tell even if you see a picture of Pio, the mayor of Los Angeles. You can see he looks clearly like a nigga with a perm. I'm gonna have to post that picture. But I'm here to offset and tell the truth about the people that look like me and you that's always been in Los Angeles. And my people came from South. My mother was born here, but my father was born in Louisiana. So what do that tell you? And you know what I'm saying? So you've always had both. You've always had the people who came here by way of migration, because that's a fact that in the 40s and the 50s, a lot of people were migrating because of jobs, and there was fleeing oppression. Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, Alabama, all of the South, Florida, you name it. people were trying to find a different way of living because these animals were fucking, giving them a hard time. These crackers. So you can see where the trajectory angle of people migrating, a mass migration did take place in Los Angeles, but that's not the sum total of how all of the dark people got there. There have always been dark people in LA. True Angelinos who were born there from day one uh, versus the people that migrated. That's how come the numbers of colored people, dark people, were so plentiful, is because they had both. They had the migration of people from the South versus the dark people who've always been there historically. You know, I can't say that enough from my own personal uh, studies for me to find that out. In the late 1800s, all the way up to the early 1900s, it was a lady by the name of Biddy Mason. I need you guys to do your research on that. Biddy Mason had she was a real estate mogul. Downtown LA was hers. She owned a vast portion of Broadway streets and other uh, adjoining real estate collectively around that whole area. I mean, the lady owned a lot of real estate, lots of real estate, and it was a dark woman. So sometimes you have to really do your own research to find out. If you live in the city and you love your city, you always do your own research so you can know the truth and not be letting other people, outsiders, hand you their versions of your motherfucking history. You see what I'm saying? But we all know that Central, on the east side, it was a lot of black people on the east side, so-called black. Because that was the place where you can go, back then, the two-bedroom apartment, it wasn't common. It wasn't uncommon that where you have in a two-bedroom apartment to have maybe about 7, 8 people living in there. You know what I'm saying? This shit that the Hispanics is doing now, who you think they got that from? We lived in these old Victorian style houses, Spanish style houses over there in the 20s on the east side all the way down through Compton. Big families, black families. Had big families, 20 kids, 15 kids. A medium-sized family is 8 to 10 kids. Where do you think that came from? We introduced that model because we did it all in other parts of the United States. So I just wanted to touch bases on that and encourage you guys to, the information is there free for the taking for you to start looking and seeing how you have always been influential and an integral part of society. We built America. I said that, I ain't taking it back. We built America before the U.S. even came. We had all kind of technology and everything in place. And I know some of you guys are academics, scholarly, westernly influenced, and you want links, I can give you links. When you talk about so-called Tartaria and all that bullshit, don't forget to include dark people. We are the common X factor in a lot of stuff that you guys be scratching your head at and be giving other people credit for. We are the creators. Anything you could think of. Semiconductors, cell phones, artificial hearts, elevators, automobiles, oil wells. I can keep going and on about black invention. And I know some people are not going to like it because you guys don't like when we acknowledge our own greatness. But that's all right. This is not for you guys. This is for people that look like me and you who are asleep in the dark about their presence and their potency and their power. So, just something. I know somebody will probably flag this. I don't give a fuck. You can't stop the bum rush. A lot of our people have been lied to and without a vision, and they panicked and they took that damn jab, and as a result, they'll have to contend with the repercussions of that. But there's also a group of people who, like me, they don't buy the lie. They don't go for the okie doke. They have been encouraged to think a little bit deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be forever grateful. So, if you're listening and you listen to me jibber jabber, just talking my shit, and you like what I said, please comment, subscribe, smash the like, talk shit, give me my props, give me my flowers, show some love, add something to it. If you heard me say anything and it need to be corrected, add something to it. But by all means, participate. Signing off.